younger, it just feels completely natural to do so. Like, oh yeah, zombies in a dystopian universe. Sure, there's an entire section dedicated to them. Alright, I can accept that. Oh, baby. I know that portion's a trap, and it'll make you fall down immediately. And let it be known, falling down immediately is definitely not fun. Right, mine shaft. I'm just gonna drop this explosive barrel. But since I didn't throw it with any force, it doesn't explode on people immediately. I have to be very careful in this section or I'll take falling damage. But in addition to falling damage, there's a metric, and I say metric ton of head crabs waiting here to devour you if you make one false move. Oh my gosh, suit charge. Something we haven't had in a long time. Now if you're good and clever, you can actually avoid the vast majority of these guys. If you're smart, you can tend to kill all of them, rather than have a problem dealing with them. However, don't actually try to kill all of them, they spawn an infinite number. I'll let that next explosion clear the way for me. And then we'll head over here, which will take us to our salvation. I.e. get us past the head crab hell segment. And while that does hurt and gets rid of our suit, it's better than dealing with a legitimately infinite number of head crabs. We'll toss his stuff down here because if we tried to take that path, it would fall on us. No, really, this thing is not stable at all. And I believe that this area you weren't actually supposed to get into. Considering that I don't know how you got here. And that you just, did you decay? Did you burn to death? Because this is not natural decay. Not in the slightest. And I doubt you starved. I've got a lot of good head crab meat over here. That could have gone poorly, because if it counted as a too solid of an object to fall on, I would have immediately lost all my health. In fact, I still might drown because I'm not able to get my oxygen back without floating above the water's edge. Oh look, a rope. Psych, it's a barnacle. It only stands to reason that an organism would actually exist in a place if there was a plentiful supply of food. Yet, zombies, for their part, seem like a terrible food source. They can't swim, head crabs can't go through here, so why does this barnacle exist? Heck if I know, but there's some more loot over here, including more magnum bullets. You know, it's mystifying how many magnum bullets there actually are by this point, just because you don't have any other weapons to deal with. Oh well. Anyway, we're almost to the break point, finally. This is the last section of the mines. The minecart section. A glorious machine. Some might call it a machine for pigs. Others, who are more realistic, will call it a machine designed to just murder zombies horrifically that are hiding in this mine shaft. Now, this thing does move fairly fast, so it is recommended that you at least go far enough to trigger the next wave of zombies to approach. And then run past when you got time. I'll be honest, I didn't actually see that head crab there, I just hit it for the sake of hitting it. But yes, we're about to breach into a better future, a brighter future. There's a light at the end of the tunnel for our night in Ravenholm. is finally over. That doesn't mean we're done, not by a long shot. No, 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 no. There's of course head crabs always behind us, because when isn't there head crabs behind us? And another magnum over here, just in case you somehow missed the other 2 magnums that you had available. And some health over here in case you're down on health. Admittedly, that's all there is over here. As I've said, we'll be taking a small break right now. I'm no longer dying, my voice has kind of returned. Although not really, I would need to give it more of a break before it returns to its normal glorious self without actually having a dried out tongue. Right, I forgot you were there. I will kill him eventually. I just need to stay out of his reach. Or stay out of reach of his attack animation. And now we get our first glimpse of the Combine snipers. With how dystopian their world is, one would think that they would actually have more snipers out there. But they don't. Thankfully, snipers have an easy fix. I do love their little bit of a swear they do. When it comes time for them to get sniped. Right, I forget they could just blow that up at will. Thankfully I can use things as mobile barricades. I'll grab another grenade later. There's a few more secrets in here that I can make use of. I think I actually get some suit charge in here as well. No, it's just grenades. Well, at least they leave you with a plentiful amount in case you somehow missed all the others. Now, here's where I'm going to use the SMG's alt fire again. On account of this section in particular is fairly awful because there's a ton of enemies that can really easily kill you if you aren't careful. Case in point. But now we have a fancy new gun. Isn't that wonderful? This is the Overwatch Standard Issue Pulse Rifle. We're, of course, once again, not going to use it, but things are starting to look up. Things are starting to look bright. We've finally found our old enemies again, instead of having to deal with a metric ton of Combine. You know what? Oh, I can't pick that up. Right. That's gonna be a problem. Alright, you're dead. Let's see if we can get a grenade over there to get rid of some of them. Alright. They're going to try to outflank. And so far, it seems to be working. Yet at the same time, I can still dodge them for the most part. Run? Where did you go? It's a lot harder than it needs to be. Where are you? I'm doing my best. That I promise you. It's just a lot harder than it looks when I'm trying to get these grenades, these weapons, to just go sail down their corridors gloriously. There we go. Needed a cinder block. Something light, something compact, something I could definitely make use of. Where are you? There you are. and hope.
Winston's been hit.
We meet the resistance once
Patch him up and
again.
get him to the back as soon as he's stable. Gordon Freeman. It's incredible you made it. We've been getting communications from Alex. I'll see if I can reach her again. Follow me.
One of the happiest soundtracks in this game, and saddest, has returned to us. I used to know the name of this track,
Over here, Dr. Freeman.
although its name is lost on me. That was, what,
It's Leon. We're all clear. And I've got Gordon Freeman.
Dr. Freeman, you're kidding.
5 years ago?
Look, I've been on the line with Alex.
When I used to listen to this fairly
Her father's been
regularly.
captured.
Over here, Dr. Freeman.
Eli Vance is indispensable to the liberation.
Alex, it's Leon. And I've got Gordon Freeman with me.
Gordon, you made it through Ravenholm. Thank God. I need your help. They've taken my father. He's been taken to Nova Prospect. The Vortigaunts tracked the ship that made off with him and Judith Mossman. While the trains are still running, I'm gonna hitch a ride. Here's where you come in, Gordon. I need you to make your way along the coast until you get to Nova Prospect. It used to be a high-security prison. It's something much worse than that now. But I think it's still easier to sneak in than to break out.
You want him to take the coast road? He won't last 5 minutes on foot. It's spawning season for the antlions.
That's why I called you, Leon. I was hoping you still had the scout car we left with you last summer. The one my dad rigged with the Tau cannon.
Yeah, good idea. Hold on a sec. Norco, bring the buggy out. Put it on the dock right now. Gordon Freeman will be driving it.
Will do. I just finished mounting an ammo crate on the back.
Good timing. Okay, Alex.
Poor
we're all set.
timing. Why didn't you have a random jump crate?
Gordon, I haven't driven the coast in over a year, but I have no reason to think it's gotten any safer. Meet me in the depot where the trains unload. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in Nova Prospect. Bye for now.
Bye, Alex.
You know,
Okay, Doc. Before you hit the road, you might want to grab some med kits, restock on ammo, maybe check the map, see where you're headed. There's an ammo supply crate on the back of the car, if that's any comfort.
not in the
Stay
slightest.
with the car, make use of the thumpers. You'll stand a fair chance against the antlions. I'll radio ahead to let the next base know you're coming. Shore point to NLO. That map is out of date, but you can still see more or less the route to Nova Prospect. Can't vouch for the road, though. We've lost touch with some of the outposts. Shore point to NLO. Shore point
The
to
younger
New
me
Little
wouldn't
Odessa.
have appreciated
Odessa.
this
You read.
until after I've played the game once or twice. But this map is actually still
Shore point to
fairly
NLO.
accurate
Shore
for
point
the
to New
most
Little Odessa.
part,
Come in, Odessa. Do you read?
which is, I find quite funny.
Shore point to NLO. Shore point to New Little Odessa. Come in, Odessa. Do you
One of
read?
these people says something.
Can't you see
Shore
I'm
point to
busy?
NLO. Shore point to New
Fine.
Little Odessa.
Let's get our car. So I can stop hearing shore point to NLO for all eternity.
Shore point to NLO.
Hello, Dr. Freeman. Car's all ready for you.
Fun thing about this is
Come in and I'll
this
lower you down to
here
the beach. Good,
is
here we
probably
go.
the reason that people have been putting vehicle sections in first-person shooters almost unnecessarily for so long. Just because of the success of this game. And once again, this is also yet again another tutorial of things you'll be doing later. Can you put me down? No? Just gonna suspend me in the air.
Hold on. Sorry, Doc.
You heard me. Literally at that. Flip over. Thank goodness for the self-righting car. Now, I also need to go and grab the Lambda caches from this point onward, but I can't be bothered to do so. Just because if we're going for speed, I'm not going to spend 5 years looking for all of them, so from this point onward, my knowledge of Lambda caches have dropped severely. That doesn't change a whole lot, though. We still have a fair distance to travel. Some Combine to see, the Combine to slay, as a matter of fact. And on the trail we blaze. Most of the roads are unfortunately out, which is going to break up the monotony of us traveling through this place. You know what? I know there are Combine in that building, but I don't remember what's actually in here. Just medical supplies. Sure there's nothing else? Could have sworn there was something. Maybe there's something up top. Like I said, this game usually rewards exploration to a certain degree, and you'd be surprised, we actually skipped a lot of supplies that, of course, we didn't need because we're not using them. But there's a lot of things that you could have gotten, ranging all the way back to Root Canal, including things such as grenades that are inside trash cans. What else? Really, the grenades inside trash cans are the only one I could really think of at this moment in time, but I can assure you there are definitely others. Alright, this is going to be a lot harder than it looks. Did I knock you off? I did. Well, you have to be the third one. Okay, no. There are secrets, but some secrets just ain't worth it. Time and effort. The works. There's also a metric ton of loading screens, for this is, once again, yet another extremely long chapter to go through. There's a lot of places that you have to drive through, and a lot of foes that you're going to have to fight. For instance, take this place for example. I'm normally supposed to fall straight down there. I'm not going to do that. I'm instead going to do quite the opposite. And just drive. Now, due to the antlion spawning season, as we're driving on this road, antlions will spawn around us, but we will persevere and ignore them by getting up to this thumper. As long as the thumper keeps thumping, no antlions can chase us, creating areas of relative safety. Hi there. How did I miss? Get out of here. Look, I know that's supposed to be scary, but you gotta understand. This ain't really that terrifying. Come on. Bank shot in there. How did that count as a lambda cache? All I did was toss a grenade around the corner. Ah, well. Locked. Oh, I get it. I think if I damage boost myself by bouncing off of... That didn't work because I was right underneath this. You know what? I'll give up for now and not injure myself endlessly. But the barricade has been in fact destroyed. Well, I think we can treat your asthma, whoever you are. I just need to jump across this place. How are you not dead? There we go. Now, if I remember correctly, there was something I could look through here that would show me the world across. No? Alright, fine. So who set up the thumpers in the first place? They're distinctly Combine in origin, but it seems like both sides use the thumpers to their own benefit. Heck if I know. It's lovely though, in the speed run of this game, you don't even see this section. You just leap past, well beyond any logic or reason, into a place that others could only dream of. Yeah, don't mind me. There's a bunch of Combine who are just waiting here for us. It's hard to play it's hard to play melee games against the antlions, but you can get them eventually. Now, there is something big and heavy I could hit them with, right? Oh, SMG grenade. Perfect. I'll grab that in a moment. Look, I know you're there. I should say, I know they're there. It doesn't mean I can't do anything about it. How are you not dead? Oh, you did die. Perfect. Nope. Come on, there's one more in here. I know it for a fact. The shotgun guys. They're always some of the most terrifying. Always one of the hardest to see and notice. And then, from a darkened corner, they strike. By the way, the government man is saying hello to the rebel outpost that's off in the distance. Probably telling you, you're going to die. I'm sorry, but it is a sacrifice that I have to make, just so you all can survive in the end. Now, who am I kidding? G-Man doesn't care about it. He's just getting power for power's sake. I would like to ask him about the government man, though, and what his relation to it is. You're following me, but for what purpose? Just go into the water? You might have. Oh, if I could jump in through the top. No, we'll get the SMG grenade and we'll move on. Our rationed use of explosives will soon come to an end, though, as we're soon going to have more than enough explosives that I know what to do with. We get our final two weapons in this chapter. The two weapons, as a matter of fact, that we actually can use for the remainder of the game. Oh, there more Combine? There are. Beep beep coming through. Forget the handbrake allows me to turn around. What? How strong does my car have to be? You're on fire, now get out of my way. Eh, the antlions can't reach me in here anyway, so I might as well take a look-see and see what they've got. Now, if you're a fool, you'll jump onto this, and I think this immediately breaks. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Nothing else of value here? Fine, we'll just get in the car and continue to drive on. I like how ramshackled this looks. Just that the Combine are making their bases even in our own discarded structures. Speaks volumes about how strong they actually are. But the Combine seem to have beaten us here already, as far as I can tell. If we are only meeting Combine along the way, naturally there must only be Combine in the way, he says as we now meet Resistance members.
Freeman! Hurry, get in the basement. We're expecting gunships at any moment. Colonel Cubbage will be glad to see you made it.
Colonel who? Well, Colonel, I'm going to be making use of the weapon you're giving me because it's one of the most glorious ones in the game. Thank goodness. To the basement.
This steerable rocket launcher is our best bet for taking down a gunship. Ah, hello. I'll be right with you. Now, where was I? Ah, yes. Using the laser guide, you can steer your rocket past the gunship's defenses and prevent it from shooting down your rocket. This will only anger it at first, but if you can survive long enough to make several direct hits, you'll be rewarded with a prize worthy of any mantelpiece. Now, who's going to be the lucky one to carry it into combat? Ah, yes, Gordon Freeman. I couldn't have asked for a finer volunteer. Colonel Odessa Cubbage at your service.
Gunship!
Dan, let me just send a warning to Lighthouse Point, and then I'll come right up and lend a hand. Go on, teach that gunship a lesson it will never forget.
I somehow doubt it. One of the better weapons of the game, the rocket launcher. Completely steerable, incredibly fast, incredibly agile. We only need to land a sum total of 5 rockets on the stupid thing in order to kill it. But you know what I'm going to do? Something even more dangerous. Let's try to take it out with a flammable barrel in the air. Okay, I lied. That was a horrible idea. This is the final line in our trio of explosives. It's our finale in the line of explosives. And one of our best weapons. Thank you. Oh my gosh, did the gunship block the way again? I hate the gunships so much. They always fall down onto things that they really shouldn't. Good lord. Can I jump in here? There's no point. It's completely sealed off. Under certain circumstances, I can actually connect with them using the explosive barrels. I in fact fondly remember a time in hard mode where in a future fight with them, I was basically forced to do so because I couldn't get to the point where they had infinite rockets to begin with. And without the infinite rockets, you really cannot take down gunships in hard mode, considering they take a whopping 7 rockets to kill. On hard mode. They take 2 less for every difficulty lower, with the lowest being 3 on easy. Admittedly, if you die on easy mode, it's either a result of the physics engine messing with you, or something else.
Get going, Dr. Freeman. We know Eli Vance is depending on you.
Well, I've got my trophy on a mantelpiece.
That's that. I gather you've disposed of that gunship, Dr. Freeman. Your reputation, sir, is well deserved. I shall have someone open the gate for you immediately, so that you can drive on. I understand that Dr. Vance is in great need. Use extreme caution when approaching the bridge. Radio silence from that outpost leads me to believe it has come under Combine control. Still, you're clearly the right man for the job. You'll make it through if anyone can. Farewell. And please tell Dr. Vance that Colonel Cubbage regrets not having been able to rescue him in person.
The Freeman must now hurry on. The Eli Vance is held in distress most dire. Is there reason for delay?
I was hoping you would give me something else, but I apparently can't get anything else other than a thank you. Bloody British officers. Not granting you just desserts. Now, if you check out rebel bases, there's usually a bunch of places where extra supplies are just stored around, all well hidden from view. Although, in this case, I can clearly see that that's not the case. Here. I always look for suit charge whenever I can, because suit tends to take less damage than anything else. Anyway, without further delay, let's get back in the car and keep going. Why are you following me? Oh, thank you! Thank you, that's exactly what I asked for!
Keep the Freeman safe.
You did exactly as asked.
Drive safely.
How wonderful. And the gunship's corpse is gone. Alright, let's get to Lighthouse Point, finally. This should be the second half. No, this is only the first third we're in, so we're going into the second third, which is one of the more irritating sections to be in. That's basically nothing but...